fun and clowns are in at the moment, so let's do a serial creepy clown. For this look you will need some liquid latex. I'm making a triangle which will form our cut on our face for our serial killer clown. And then I'm just piling liquid latex, some tissue or toilet paper, and piling that on. I did this about 6 or 7 times, so it was really thick. I wanted that sort of like falling off the skin texture once you cut it open. Once it's dried, I just patted it down with some translucent powder, just make it easier to work with later. For the face paint, I just used a very low quality actual concealer, and then I just used that all over my face. Now this was very, very hard to work with. It would dry very quickly, so I had to use a few layers. And then I went in with a dry brush and sort of brushed off a lot of it to make sure it looked like really worn in and that it had been worn for a long period of time. For, of course, the classic eyes, I'm just using another low quality product. This is just a low quality face paint, and I'm just using that as a very, very messy guideline. I'm just making a triangle sort of star shape all over my eye area and really not caring about the shape or the consistency. I'm not making it very opaque at all because we're just going to fuddle it up at the end anyway. So once you have your rough shape, I suggest you go in with either a dry brush, or for me personally I used my finger and just smudged the whole thing out so it really looked like I've been wearing it for days. And then I actually took the dirty sort of beauty blender and blended that out even more so it looked really smudged. I then repeated the same process on the other eye, but didn't do the same shape. I wanted to do something a little bit smaller and not as dramatic. Just going back in, filling it in, and then going back in with the beauty blender. So it looks like I've been wearing this for days. It looks really cool. To add some texture and dimension to the face, because I always imagine these creepy clowns to be like old men, and that sort of weirds me out even more. So I'm just frowning here and sort of putting some shadowing in the creases. Again, some frown lines, and sort of just playing on my natural features and making myself look really creepy. I found these lines, even this smile right here is really scary. Just laugh lines, they always just look a little bit emphasis and just make this look sort of tied together even more. Next, I'm overdrawing my lip area so it's actually quite large as a normal clown was, and then one side that wasn't had the cut on it, I just made it very pointy and sharp and clean, and the other side not so much. I just filled the whole lip area in with a bright red. To make the cut, I'm actually just taking quite a sharp pair of scissors and making the incision along the liquid latex, and then I'm pulling it apart so that it widens the whole area and make it look like the flaps of my skin are falling apart. And I am actually pulling it off slightly at the end of this video just to show extra texture. Now I'm building up the depth and definition in this cut. I'm going in with the blacks, some browns, dark reds, and then building it up as it goes out. I wanted this to be like an older wound that had reopened. That's why it's black to start with, and then I'm smudging some newer, fresher blood around the area. I also smudged the lipstick so it looked like I'd worn it in and it had been a very, very old sort of makeup I was still wearing. Then I went over with a dirty beauty blender to sort of like tie everything in again. And then of course adding fake blood because I always add fake blood to everything. And it just sort of look like I've just opened that cut again. And then I went a little bit crazy and put it over on my fingers and I just smeared it here, smeared it there. Looks like I've just eaten someone or killed someone. I just chucked a cheap ass wig on that I got from a $2 shop and some crazy white contacts because they are seriously creepy. And as you can see guys, this was super easy and it's very on trend at the moment. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and of course guys, have a fantastic Halloween.